Hey y'all, welcome to week 16 of DNA, where me and my son will be bringing you the rundown of the week. And look at y'all, we're almost there with week 16, 2 more weeks to go. This is where it separates the men from the boys. This is where it decides who's going to be going to the playoffs and hopefully going to the big dance. So, here we go. Well, the Falcons, y'all back on top. Y'all back on top.
Yeah, we doing what we gotta do. You know, last week we beat the Raiders. I wasn't too hype about that win because although we got the dub, you know, we're playing the Raiders, one of the worst teams in the league. You know, I thought we should have stumped them. You know, and but you know the Raiders did their thing, and you know, scared us on a few occasions. But this week we played another sorry team in the New York Giants. And, you know, we played against the Giants the same way I thought we would play against the Raiders, and I love what I saw from my team. You know, the Giants are 2-12, but, you know, every game is important, especially when you're still looking to get that playoff spot. And the Falcons did exactly what they needed to do and won 34-7. And but that's not even the big story. The bigger story is Michael Penix Jr., the Falcons rookie who finally got that starting job after weeks of Kirk Cousins just not playing to his potential. Kirk, you know, you got us to this point. You got us to 6-3, but ever since that record, you know, it's just been downhill. I wish Michael Penix started sooner, but you know, it's better late than never, right? You know, I think the Falcons have finally found their guy. You know, last time we drafted a guy, you know, named Michael. He was a left-handed quarterback as well. You know, this is very reminiscent of Vic all over again. It just feels real good to have Michael Penix Jr. He looked really good against the Giants. He went 18 for 27, had 202 yards. He had a pick, but the pick really wasn't on him. It was on our tight end, Kyle Pitts, who I'm really not feeling. I really wouldn't mind us looking to trade him because honestly, you know, he hasn't hit 1,000 yards in a season since his rookie season when Matt Ryan was his quarterback. And people have been saying, Kyle Pitts, he's a bust. He's a bust because he hasn't hit 1,000 yards. But he's had bad quarterbacks like Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder, as you guys know. And we've been giving him the benefit of the doubt, saying, he hasn't been able to play as well because he hasn't had a good quarterback play. Well, he's had Kirk Cousins, who's not a terrible quarterback. He's just good enough to get you back to 1,000 yards. He didn't do it under him. And he has Michael Penix. And there's no telling what Michael Penix can do with Kyle Pitts, but Kyle Pitts is the reason for that interception because Penix threw the ball to him. It hit Kyle Pitts' hands. He caught it for like, I guess, a second, and then he somehow passed it to the defender, and it was right at the goal line. I don't know how that happened. So yeah, that's not on Penix. Penix played a clean game. His throws were just very accurate. It's just really, really great. I don't think you guys understand how great it is to just finally have this fresh new start, you know, under a new quarterback. And but Bijan Robinson had 22 carries for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Darnell Mooney looked like Penix's favorite target. He had 5 receptions and 82 yards. Okay. Mooney didn't even have a reception against the Raiders, so he's back on track, you know. And Jesse Bates and Matthew Judon, you know, both had a pick 6, and that was amazing. That was just amazing to see. This is the first time in NFL history that we've had 2 pick 6s in the game since 1983. This is also the second time this has happened in franchise history. So this is just a cool day for the defense. Arnold Ebiketie also was a sack machine. Him and TJ Watt from the Steelers are the only people since week 13 to have 4 sacks. So that's just also awesome. I just hope the Falcons keep this thing up. And we got the Commanders next week. I know it's going to be a tough one, but our playoff hopes stay alive. Thank you, Giants, for coming to Atlanta at the right time. If you ever wanna play us again, please, I'll let it play off for the rest of the season. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I hope we handle business. The Falcons.
Y'all in charge of your own destiny.
Yeah, we are back. We are
You're
back
in
on
charge.
top.
So if y'all don't make it to the playoffs, it's on y'all. Y'all don't have to wait for nobody to lose. Y'all don't need no. You in charge of your own.
We beat the Commanders. We going to the playoffs.
That's it.
Because then the Panthers the last game. I know it's a division game. Them things could always
They might
go
want to
either
play
way.
spoilers though. They might. Want
Yeah, you know the Panthers gonna look to ruin the
So
fun.
they might, So
But-
y'all just like us. We in charge. We already in the playoffs, but we in charge of whether or not we're gonna get the first seed. It's on us. We went out. It belongs to us. We NFC Northern champions. We the top of the NFC. So like y'all like us in charge of. We don't have to do the mathematics. So and so got to lose. And this,
Yeah, and talking about my team too much, I forgot to mention Drew Lock, quarterback for the Giants. He made the best of his opportunity with 210 yards. He went 22 for 39. He had 1 touchdown and 2 picks. We're going to see what the Giants do in the offseason. A lot of people are speculating they are going to go after a quarterback. I would say that's a no-brainer. Falcons definitely needed this win. Definitely a good debut for Michael Penix. Definitely a good team to play to build up your momentum. This is the type of team you want to play. Now, next week is the true test for him. I can't wait to see what
and
him
they're
and his
coming off the
offense
win
does.
of beating Philly, so they riding a little high right now.
Yeah, so we will see.
And they got some things to prove too, because I don't think they're out. They're not out the playoffs yet.
No.
Commanders, so they have
The
to.
Commanders still in it. That
So it's
Commanders Falcons gonna be a lot of eyes on that one. Gonna be a lot of eyes on that one. But we are not the only team to drop 34. Another team also dropped 34. Them Detroit Lions.
Yes, we did. And we, going in playing the Bears, we knew it was going to be easier than playing the Bills, but we knew it still was going to be tough because, that's how it is when you go up against your division rivals, and it's always tough. And the Bears, they did come to play. Caleb Williams wasn't a joke. He did, he was really good. Everybody thought that he was actually auditioning to Ben Johnson to come play here. I am that quarterback, and he did. Caleb was doing his thing. He really did go in, did what he had to do. It was a great game for him, but he was playing the Detroit Lions, my boys in that Honolulu Blue, as they go in golf. I mean, it was just an amazing game to watch for them to get that loss behind them, and nothing is sweeter than to get a win to wash that taste out of your mouth. So they came in, they was excited, Goff threw that 82-yard pass to Jameson to let people know I still got an arm. I ain't out yet. 82-yard touchdown pass to Jameson. It was just beautiful to watch. St. Brown, he did what he had to do. He had 6 receptions, 70 yards, 1 touchdown. Doesn't seem like a lot, but he got the yardage when we needed them. When we was going down on 4th down or 3rd and long, he was the go-to guy, and he got it. So it's so funny that, Dan Campbell called him Binky. He said we called him Binky because he makes us feel comfortable. So I thought that was kind of cute. He's like our little pacifier, He makes us feel comfortable. So y'all know my nickname is Binky. So now we got another one. And did what he had to do. Gibbs, our Sonics, the half of Sonics and Knuckles, knew that he was flying solo on this one. He came out, had a good game. He had 109 yards and 1 touchdown. And like I said, Goff was in the zone. He threw for 336 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's my boys. Beat them not once but twice. As they also beat the Green Bay Packers not once but twice. So they did what they had to do. Come on, y'all, let's keep rolling. So we do got the Vikings at the end of the season. Like I said, we're in charge of our destiny, whether we're going to win the NFC North and be on top of the NFC. We got to win out, but Green Bay, it all depends. Do they hate us more than they hate the Vikings? Because the Green Bay could beat us, as long as we beat the 49ers, which I think we got a good chance to go on the road and beat the 49ers. They're not playing like the championship other dude they were last year.
Just got eliminated from playoff contention.
They're not even in it anymore. And so we get to play them. We beat them. And if Green Bay can beat the Vikings, then we actually got 2 buys.
Because Green Bay definitely could do it.
They need to do it.
Yeah.
Because they're not in yet. So it's a good game for them.
Yeah.
So they're going to go in and play their hardest because they really still need to win.
Yeah.
The Vikings is in the playoff. They trying to get in.
Yeah.
So they got to play hard. So it'll be great for us. So I'm hoping, I know people probably want to see the Lions and Vikings last game of the season go down to who will win the NFC, but we need to rest. As everybody know, we got injuries on top of injuries on top of injuries. So I'm hoping that Green Bay take care of the Vikings, we take care of the 49ers so we can get a 2 week off. Because we could just go ahead and play our rookies, you know, we can go ahead and play them against the Vikings. It don't matter.
Chill the rest of the season.
We can just chill. So that's what we're hoping as Lions fans is that next week, week 17 is our last week. We in top of the NFC, won the NFC North, and we just chilling. So, before I forget, we did have a trick play. You know, we are the Detroit Lions. We love to play, have fun. So we did this trick play. Some people want to call it the stumble roll, but we're going to call it the stumble fumble. And actually, it was a play that Ben Johnson got from the Green Bay Packers when they played the Bears last year. And Jordan Love happened to fumble the ball, but then he picked it up and he threw it to his receiver. Well, they decided, Ben was like, okay, we're going to make this into a trick play. So he did ask Jared, he was like, would you feel comfortable with fumbling the ball and then pick it up? He was like, I don't know if I can do that. So that's why they made it where he looked like he was stumbling. And then Gibbs actually looked like he was diving for the ball. And then the funny part was that the whole O-line was going fumble, 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 fumble. They started saying it so that the Bears would buy into it. It worked like a dream. It worked. He threw it in, and he threw it to Laporta. Laporta ran it in for a touchdown. It was pretty.
I expect that to work on the Bears.
Right, and that's what everybody said. Why did they waste it on the Bears? But you know what? Ben Johnson got enough other tricks up his sleeve. We know we got some other stuff coming out, but you know, here's the play. In case y'all missed it, here's the play right here.
Well, would have gone both sides. 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Now Gibbs stumbled after taking the snap, but it doesn't matter. Connects with Laporta for a Lions touchdown.
Like I said, it was a great play. It was like, oh my God. So yeah, once again, but like you said, it's more tricks. It wasn't wasted on the Bears. It was, you know, we got more tricks out there. And like everybody said, it was probably like an audition on his part because a lot of people saying Ben Johnson may go to the Bears. It was like, you know, how did Dan Campbell feel about it? He like, bring it. It'd be kind of fun to have a little rival where it was, you know, our old offensive coach is now the head coach of the Bears. It'll be fun. It'll be like, bring it. But I'm telling you right now, Ben Johnson is an amazing coach.
Yeah, he is.
But Bears, he can teach Caleb Williams a lot of stuff. But unless the Bears spend the money and get him an O-line, it's not going to even matter. Because if he don't give him the O-line, that's the reason why he's able to be so successful, is because the O-line is amazing. They give him Goff the time to do the things that Ben Johnson won't done. So Bears, you can get them, but you better treat them right and get them an O-line. So that's all. So let's give the rundown for week 16. Well, it was a good game as those Chargers, you know, they got past the Broncos, which was kind of surprising because the Broncos been running hot, but the Chargers got past the Broncos 34-27.
Yeah, definitely a good game. Bo Nix went 29 for 40 with 265 yards and 2 touchdowns. He just continues his great quarterback play. Justin Herbert went 23 for 31 with 284 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. The Chargers, you know, they actually scored 21 unanswered points to win this game. And they clinching even closer to a playoff berth. This was definitely a game they needed. The Broncos started off hot, but them Chargers just came charging back. And definitely get a must win. Both teams actually sit at 9-6 now. Both playoff hopes still alive. It's going to be very interesting to see these next 2 games from these teams. But yeah, definitely a good game. Chargers won 34-27.
Oh wow! And those Chiefs. Well, finally the Chiefs won a game that it was more than a field goal or a touchdown. Yeah. They're finding their legs. They're getting back just in time for the playoff run as they beat up on the Texans 27-19.
Yeah, probably the worst Super Bowl favorite of all time. The Kansas City Chiefs have won again. But CJ Stroud went 23 for 39, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, had 2 interceptions. You know, it's been such an up and down season for Houston. They had a handful of great games and a handful of just, you know, tough losses as well. But, you know, they stay alive at 9-6. You know, no need to panic, Houston. Chiefs are 14-1. You know, every time they win, it's a sad day for America. But, you know, Patrick Mahomes went 28 for 41, he had 260 yards and 1 touchdown. But, you know, Kansas City, they're close to clinching that first seed in the AFC playoffs. But unfortunate news for the Texans that could hurt them the next couple weeks is they did lose their wide receiver, Tank Dell. Toward ACL injury. He had 6 receptions for 98 yards before the unfortunate injury. You can see C.J. Stroud expressing his hurt as he was, shown crying on camera. And, it was just a very, very tough loss for the Texans, as Tank Dell's one of their best players, and you just never want to see a player get hurt. But just wish them well going forward. But come on, I need another Chiefs loss. I need them to lose and to get eliminated from the playoffs. I don't know who's gonna do it. Buffalo, I'm looking at you. Hopefully y'all are the ones.
The Ravens can give them a run. They got some people out there that
this
can.
Has got to be the worst 14-1 team I've seen in my whole life.
It's got to be somebody out there that can knock them out. Now, I guess 34 must have been a number for Sunday.
Must have been
a number. The Chargers scored 34. We scored 34. The Ravens scored 34. Y'all scored 34. The Packers scored 34.
Yeah.
Like, that was the score to be 34. If you're a number player, you might want to play that 034, 304.
If you scored 34, it was just enough to win.
Yeah.
Apparently.
That was the number. So the Ravens, they got on past the Steelers, and I hope the Steelers still got the chance to get in there. They started off, they was doing really good. They started off good with Fields. Russell came in, took it to another level, but now they seem to be stumbling a little bit as the Ravens beat up on the Steelers 34-17.
Yeah, 34-17, and both teams are 10-5 right now, but the Steelers needed this win a little more than the Ravens did. If they won, they could have won the AFC North with this win. And that's just very, very painful. I'm sure for the Steelers, you never want to lose to a rival. I know how much y'all hate the Ravens. But y'all just fall short. Russell Wilson went 22 for 33, had 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Didn't play his best game, but Russ didn't play terrible as well. But it was just, that overpowered Ravens defense that was just too much for him. And don't even get me started with what they do on offense, because it's just, Lamar always makes it look easy. Derrick Henry always makes it look easy. It's just a very tough team to play. But Lamar Jackson went 15 for 23 with 207 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Derrick Henry had 24 carries for 162 yards. They were just feeding him the ball, and he was having his way, just being a nightmare for the Steelers defense. And we're gonna see what these Steelers do.
They gotta come back. Come on,
Steelers. They're gonna try to make a bounce back.
Come on, Russell.
With them Ravens. Them Ravens are no joke.
Oh, that's what they got next.
No.
They just played the Ravens, so they got.
Well, they done playing now.
Yeah, they done. Okay.
They done playing now.
All right, so the doggone Panthers. They let people know we may be out, but we ain't down. We may be out, but we ain't down. They playing spoilers. They over there being a little patty. They know they don't have to play so hard, but they figure they're going to go and probably dash other people's playoffs hopes, as that's what they did to the Arizona Cardinals. By them beating the Arizona Cardinals 36-30, they put the Cardinals on the bench with them.
Yep, they sure did. And Cardinals. I know. You never want to be that team, to have your season ended, especially by a team whose season's been over, like the Panthers.
Just petty.
See, the one fun thing about being a fan of a team who's at the bottom of the barrel, it's just knowing that you can spoil everyone else's playoff hopes. Like,
they gonna try to do that to y'all too, though.
Yeah, they gonna try to do it to us. The Falcons are on top of the division. We're not scared of little brother Carolina Panthers, though. Okay. We ain't scared of them boys in Charlotte. And then they come into we already beat them on their field, so we gonna see how they do here. But Kyler Murray wasn't on his game. He only had 202 yards. Had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And he went 20 for 32 with James Conner. He did everything he could with 15 carries and 117 yards, even adding a touchdown to that. Bryce Young, just being the Grinch, stealing Christmas away from the Cardinals. Went 17 for 26, 158 yards with 2 touchdowns. And like you said, the Cards are done. Their season is over. After week 17, they are going home and enjoying the new year, and they will not be playing football till September. And but hey, Cards, who knows? I don't know who y'all got. I don't know who y'all got next up. Maybe y'all can spoil somebody's playoff hopes. I don't know who's on y'all schedule, but maybe y'all can have some fun in these next 2 games. We'll see. But definitely a tough loss for the Cardinals as they did everything they could to make the playoffs, and but it just wasn't enough.
Just wasn't
losing
it.
to the Panthers is not how you want to end your season, but
It's,
that's what it is. That's what it is.
happened. Okay, those Rams, I'm telling you, if it's a game to be won to put them in the mix, you can't count them out. Stafford cannot be counted out. I mean, it's so crazy that, they're still fighting for a playoff spot. I really don't want to play them in the playoffs. Actually, it'd be a good, Stafford against Goff again, see who goes.
It'll be interesting.
But I really don't, because he's just that dangerous. I really you just can't never.
And I'm sure it would also hurt y'all to even beat y'all former quarterback. Y'all don't want to do that.
Yeah, we done that already, but I don't want to, we just don't want to do it. But we don't want to do it again. But the thing of it is that, but the Rams beat up on the Jets. It's so funny that you think about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. It's like you don't think Aaron Rodgers being in the mix that it'll be like a loss after a loss after a loss. That's just crazy. But the Rams beat up on the Jets 19-9.
19-9, and Aaron Rodgers continues his worst season yet of his career. I mean, but look, the Jets have played better football the past few weeks, but it just is a little too late for that. They've been playing just to look good. They're obviously not playing for a playoff spot. That's been long gone, but I guess them playing good is it looks positive for next season. Even though everybody said he probably won't be a Jet next season, but
he want to be somebody though.
Yeah, he want to be somewhere. He still wants to win, but they have been playing better football. I can't lie about that. Aaron Rodgers went 28 for 42, 256 yards and 1 touchdown. Devontae Adams had 7 receptions for 68 yards and 1 touchdown. The Rams are trying to clinch that NFC West title. I believe they will. We'll see what they do. Stafford went 14 for 19 with 110 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a pick, but he got the dub. And love for Stafford in this household goes a long way. From Lions fan and me being a Georgia fan, Stafford, we love you forever, man. But Rams get the dub, 19-9 in a very, I guess you can call it a close game. They got the dub, and the Jets continue their hard season. It's almost over. Y'all got 2 more games of suffering. Then it'll be over. Y'all can reset, go back to 0-0, and don't even gotta worry about it no more. But yeah, that's it for that game.
No, wow. So now, even though I like my cute little Jalen Hurts, it's about to be playoff time, so you got to be cute over there. As I'm so glad for
Jalen. You gotta say that.
And his Commanders, they did us a favor, and it was so funny because after the Bears game, some people was over there watching. Some people was over there in the locker room when the Lions was in the locker room. They were watching. Somebody had their phones. One of the reporters, so they kind of flipped it on to the game, the end of the game with the Commanders and the Eagles. And they was like, you can hear the Lions like clapping, like, whoa, the league, go ahead, Commanders, as the Eagles lost. So, gave us a little breathing room. So as they did what they had to do, and they're still fighting. The Commanders in it, they had to fight. They fight for a playoff spot. So they beat up on the Eagles 36-33.
I mean, this was
and I think Jalen actually got hurt.
Yeah, he got a concussion. This was a very tight one. The Eagles were actually, playing good football. They were actually up on the Commanders, but once Jalen went out, everything went left. But Kenny Pickett when he went 14 for 24 with 143 yards and 1 touchdown. And then he had 1 interception after, Jalen Hurts exited the game. Jalen, hope you're good with that concussion. But a lot of concussions this season.
Yeah, a lot.
But hope that every single player that suffered one is good. And but Jane Daniels went 24 for 39, had 258 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. I hope he throws more interceptions next week against us. Praying for it. But Olamide Zaccheaus, former Falcon, had 5 receptions for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. And but the Eagles had lost their 10-game winning streak. They were on a roll in the NFC.
They was on the roll.
Coasting through teams, and this is definitely a big loss. I don't know how I feel about it with the Commanders beating them, knowing that we play this team next week. This probably gave them some fuel, but and they're going to be home against us, so it's going to be a very, very tight one. But we will see how that game goes.
It's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be fun.
I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie, because we're teetering on playoffs or no. But
playoff or bust, win or bust, huh?
We'll see.
It's just coming down to it. Well, about those Bengals, they still fight for their playoff spots, and it's really good when you're trying to get into the playoffs and you run up on the Browns. It's like, okay, hey y'all, we still gonna be rolling.
Love it.
So as they did, it worked out for them as they beat up on the Browns 24-6.
Yep, 24-6, and as you guys know, Jameis Winston was benched last week by the Browns, and Deshaun Watson suffered the injury earlier on the season. So Dorian Thompson-Robinson came in for them, and he went 20 for 34, 157 yards, and 2 interceptions. Didn't play his best game, but trying to make the best of his opportunity. And Joe Burrow with 23 for 30 with 252 yards and 3 touchdowns. Connected to Jamar Chase for a touchdown as well, who had 6 receptions with 97 yards. He the Bengals stay in the playoff hunt, and they must beat the Broncos and the Steelers next up. And they need somebody to lose, but I can't remember who. But we'll see what them Bengals do. But yes, they
Y'all just keep winning.
They won the Battle of Ohio 24-6. And it's going to be a tight finish to the season. I know it will.
It's about to get good. Now those Colts. I don't know if they still in the hunt or not. The Colts and the Titans. Well, they went head to head, and the Colts won that battle as they kind of inch past the Titans, 38-30.
Colts are done. Colts are done.
They're done.
Mason Rudolph was 23 for 34, had 252 yards and 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions for the Titans. And Chia Convo had 9 receptions from 81 yards, but it just wasn't enough to beat them Colts, as Anthony Richardson with 7 for 11 with 131 yards and 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Jonathan Taylor, who redeemed himself after dropping that ball before he crossed the plane last week. He redeemed himself this week. 29 carries for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Colts set the all-time franchise record for rushing yards with 335. What a day for them. And the offense definitely looked fluent.
Okay, now, them doggone Vikings, after we had the doggone Commanders take care of the Eagles, we was thinking like, okay, we got a little greedy. So we was figuring the Seahawks, and we need y'all to take care of the Vikings. This will be a beautiful day, But, they almost did as they kept it tight, but the Vikings, they pulled it out as they inch past the Seahawks 27-24.
Yep, 27-24, and them Seahawks, y'all getting a little too tight with the 8-7 record. Y'all lose one more, that might be it for y'all. Darnold, for the Vikings, was 22 for 35 for 246 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's been on a tear. I know the Vikings are going to pay that man good in the offseason. He deserves it, I can't even lie.
Yeah.
But Justin Jefferson had 10 receptions for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just enough to beat them Seahawks, but Geno Smith went 31 for 43, 314 yards and 3 touchdowns. The thing that hurt him was them 2 picks that might have been costly, because he was playing a good game. It was just those 2 costly interceptions. But Jackson Smith and Jigba had 8 receptions for 95 yards and a touchdown. And the Vikings, they coasting. They chilling up there with the Lions in the NFC North, but them Seahawks on the other hand are sitting at 8-7, just like us. Just trying to get that playoff spot. But it's not over. But y'all lose one more, that just might be it for y'all.
Might be it.
Seahawks a good team, though. They should be able to squeeze on it.
Woo! It's going to be a good one. Well, those doggone Bills, you can't take nothing away from them. They handled us our second loss. Not going to hate them, but the Patriots had something to say about it. The Patriots did play them. So
they did.
Even though we realized that, the Honolulu flu was a thing in the beginning of the season, even if you didn't lose, you just didn't come back with that same mojo. I think we wore them down because the Patriots took them to the mat. I guess that was some hard 48 points they had to get out of us. That was hard. And the Patriots took it to the mat as they just won, just by a field goal. It's on by the Patriots 24-20.
I mean, I figure, they beat, one of the best teams in the league in the Detroit Lions, and they feel like, oh, we got the Patriots next. We ain't got to try as hard like we did in Detroit. But that's just not the case. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. The Patriots actually went up 14-0 in this game, and I was looking at it like, oh, wow, this is about to be a huge upset. The Bills are going down. This is huge. But now the Bills came back storming and got the win by only a field goal. Drake May went 22 for 36, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Would have been something for this guy to beat the Bills. That would have been quite the story. Keyshawn Butte had 5 receptions for 95 yards and 1 touchdown. Josh Allen, the Chiefs killer. The Lions killer. I mean, the guy that's been on the rampage so far.
You getting all your accolades on this side.
He's been going crazy. 16 for 29, 151 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not his prettiest game, but he's been racking up these W's with the Bills. And James Cook, Georgia Bulldog, 11 carries for 100 yards and 1 touchdown. And the Bills, come back to win a tight one. I know Bills fans were a little concerned about this one, but y'all got the win. Y'all can breathe now. But Patriots, y'all should be happy about this performance despite coming up short. Y'all play one of the league's best teams, and this has got to be something to look forward to coming next season.
All right, now the Raiders and the Jags. Well, that was like, hey, it wasn't nothing but the losers bowl, but they out there doing
Definitely.
it. Raiders came out there, hey. Still rocking my favorite colors. As they did what they had to do is they won the losers bowl against Jaguars, 19-14.
Yeah, both teams are 3-12. Mac Jones went 25 for 39, 247 yards, 1 touchdown, but it just wasn't enough to get the win. Brian Thomas Jr. had 9 receptions for 132 yards and 1 touchdown. He straight up balled out. But Aiden O'Connell, the guys, he's been playing decent football. I feel like all season, despite the record, it doesn't tell the story for the Raiders. I've seen a lot of positives from this team all season, despite the record. And Aiden went 24 for 38, 257 yards. My man Brock Bowers from UGA had 11 receptions for 99 yards. Everybody talking about Bo Nix and them, and Jaden Daniels being Rookie of the Year. What about Brock Bowers, the best tight end I feel in the world, and I will stand on that. Been saying that since his freshman year in college, but the Raiders get the dub by 5, and the Jazz continue this heartbreak of a season. I mean, y'all are just losing to all. The Jags are even losing to the other sorry teams in the league. I'm like, y'all losing to
they playing
everybody.
They playing for the draft.
They playing for that draft.
They playing
Clearly, because I mean, you see everybody. You talk about the Browns and the Giants being on your schedule. You see the Jags on your schedule.
Right.
Oh, oh yeah, it's time to party. It's time to party. But what about them 49ers and Dolphins, though?
I know. It's like, Tua came back. He said, I'm playing. Even though we prayed, it was like, dude, you might run the league. Tua said, nah, this is what I love to do, and I'm playing. So, and he's been playing in the 49ers. I don't know if they just taking a break. It's kind of scary, though. I'm like, I hope they're not like, well, we're going to let the Lions be our last hoorah. We're going to, But I need y'all to keep playing like this 49ers. Like you said, you're not in the playoffs. Why injured, getting somebody hurt? Keep playing like this. I'm okay with this. We got y'all next week. Just lay down. Because they still like a threat when they want to be a threat. That's how I feel about them. They like, right now, they like, we ain't in the playoffs. Why? Whatever. But the Cowboys, the Dolphins. And, they beat them 29-17.
Yeah, man, it's crazy to say, but for 49ers and Dolphins, teams that are usually much better than what their records are right now, they are not going to the playoffs this season. That is so wild to say.
Not going.
This loss actually eliminated the 49ers from contention. The Dolphins have, they've been, they had a long, dreadful season with injuries and stuff. Tua went out for a few weeks with that concussion.
So they understand. It's understandable. They record.
It's been bad. But Brock Purdy went 26 for 40, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. George Kittle 8 receptions for 106 yards, and Tua went 22 for 34, 215 yards and 1 touchdown. Devon A-Chain had himself a game, 17 carries for 120 yards and 1 touchdown. He also had 6 receptions and 70 yards, so he was real busy getting the ball fed by the Dolphins all game. But yeah, 49ers, that is just wild to say. A team that has been to the Super Bowl twice in recent memory is not going to the 2024 NFL playoffs. That is wild to say. That's wild to say to me. But, very talented team.
Very talented. They'll be back in the mix next year.
And they sit here at 6-9.
They'll be back in the mix next year. Now, those Cowboys, they're just like the Panthers. They being petty. They trying to play like, we just gonna mess it up for y'all. Y'all, we don't want y'all. We kind of want the Falcons to be back on top. How about that? Nah. So as they did it, they put in the win. They helped y'all out. Like the Commanders gave us a little smile as they put y'all back on top as they beat the Buccaneers 26-24.
Yeah, now I'm actually about to say something I ain't never said in my whole life. That's how about them Cowboys? I ain't never said that ever my whole life, but I'm gonna say it today because we needed y'all. We needed y'all, and just thank you for that. Needed this. I didn't even think y'all could do it, but y'all did it. Y'all made me a believer. Because I doubted y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Them Buccaneers have been playing some good football. Baker Mayfield though went 31 for 43, 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Mike Evans had 5 receptions for 69 yards. I don't know how y'all contained that guy, but y'all did it. Y'all stopped him. Cooper Rush went 26 for 35 with 292 yards and 1 touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 7 receptions for 105 yards. I mean, I'm glad that the Cowboys have finally woke up and realized that it is the 2024 season and that the season has started. But because y'all are usually a good regular season team. But apparently y'all thought it was week 1 and y'all like, oh, football's back. Y'all must have thought it was preseason this whole time. Because y'all are not going to the playoffs. Y'all are 7-8. But I'm glad y'all woke up at the right time when the Buccaneers came into town because we needed y'all bad. And y'all looked out for us. We might need y'all in 2 weeks too. We just need y'all to win. But yeah, I'm just glad y'all did y'all thing. And the Falcons are back on top of the NFC South where we belong after the Kirk Cousins fail of the past few weeks. We are back on top. We not in the clear yet, but we can breathe just a little bit this week before we face Washington.
I got a chance.
Thank you, Dallas.
I still got a chance. Now, and my team, Saints, you're my Southern team. You could have helped me a little bit, not get the big old goose eggs, but I know you was going up against the Packers. What can you say? As those Green Bay Packers are continuing the road, like I said, they're not in the playoffs yet. They still fight for a spot to get in. I'm not mad at y'all playing the hard out. Y'all ain't have to beat the Saints like that. But they handled the Saints big old goose egg because they beat them 34-0.
Playing the Packers, what can you say? I mean, what I can say is
if
the Falcons played the Packers, we wouldn't get no goose egg. That's all I know. I know that for a fact. Them sorry Aints lose 34-0. Beautiful. I can't remember the last time the Aints ain't put nothing on the board. I gotta look up that one. But just awesome. The 5-10 Aints. Obviously they're not going to the playoffs. They're gonna be right where they belong on the couch. The Green Bay Packers doing God's work, man. Just doing God's work and beating them Aints. They go up to 11-4. Spencer Rattler went 15 for 30, had 153 yards and 1 interception. Jordan Love, my guy, thank you for beating them. 16 for 28, 182 yards and 1 touchdown. No picks. Who out there on the same defense is going to get an interception? Anyway, I'm just glad that another L for this team that I hate so much. Man, just beautiful. I hope they don't score for the rest of the season. That would be funny. That would be funny. I just love to see them down. They be like, EJ, why you beating them when they're already down? It's the Aints. I don't care. I'm gonna beat them till I can't no more.
Just petty for
Just beat them till I can't no more.
Whatever. Petty for nothing.
Thank you, Green Bay Packers. Go Pack, go! I'm a fan of any team that beats New Orleans. I'm a fan of any team that beats New Orleans.
Okay, and now we come to our favorite part of the show, and it's called the You Did That. So the You Did That for week 16. And I haven't consulted with my partner over here, but I'm sure he'll probably agree with me anyway. Now, we could say the Lions, we came up off a loss against Buffalo. We responded against the Bears. Couldn't make the whole team, but that was kind of expected. We could actually even say dependent, who I actually thought about, that came out with the Falcons, went down there, but we knew that he was a good quarterback, and I hope he can continue to shine. Mm-hmm. But I suggest that we give them, because it's Christmas, I'm feeling generous to not give it to just one, but actually 2. And I'm thinking for Christmas, our gift to you, we want to give the You Did That for week 16 to our supporting staff that actually made us smile. So we want to give it to the Commanders for beating up
Eagles.
And my brain's just they beat up on the Eagles. They gave us a little breathing room that actually made my boys happy as they won. And we also want to give it to the Cowboys. It actually showed up and actually made the Falcons.
How about them Cowboys?
So the You Did That don't go to our respective teams, but to the supporting staff for week 16 and decide to come along and help it out. So to the doggone Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys, you are the You Did That for us for week 16. So y'all, this comes as we come to the end of our episode. We know that y'all see now we have our little Santas here. My Santa is actually a Lions fan. He is, well, I ain't gonna say about it, but he do got his little red on.
He got red on. Y'all be able to tell.
But we hope that you all have a merry Christmas. And we will see you again before the new year. But have a great Christmas. Don't eat too much. And, remember, if you don't get the things that you want, it's not your birthday. It's Jesus' birthday. Remember that. And we hope that you join us next week. Please click, like, and subscribe. And join us for week 17 on DNA. Bye.
Bye, y'all. Merry Christmas.